Hello everybody, it's Joe here, and welcome back to my F122 My Team Career Mode campaign. This is Season 3, Round 3, the Australian Grand Prix here at Melbourne. If you haven't seen the last one from Saudi, go back and do so before you check this one out. This will be your last chance before spoilers. So in Season 3, we are 2 for 2 currently. 2 races, 2 wins. Can we make that 3 here in Australia and get the hat-trick? Well, first things first, we got to qualify, and that is exactly what we're doing. Pierre Gasly there, setting an early benchmark. He'll be hoping to go strong. Carlos Sainz then, raising the bar. Where are we going to put ourselves here? We go into the last corner. I don't know, I feel like I could have attacked that just a little bit more. And the lap time, well, we're behind Gasly, so I think we do need to find just a little bit something extra here. And we are finding it, but unfortunately, we've got Jehan Daruvala in the way through that corner. And that kind of helped me up just a little bit. What helped me up more was my line round there. So that line not helping me at all as we sprint for the start line, though. We have gained a couple attempts, so surely that'll be enough to make a difference. It is enough to make a difference, and that's enough to get us through Q1. We may have been cutting it a little bit close, but we still made it. And Oscar Piastri also making it, albeit only in P13. Oscar, what gives, man? Come on. Anyway, we're now into Q3 for the final part of qualifying. This is the part that determines where we're going to be on the grid. Qualifying is complete then. I've been eyeing where we were in comparison to Verstappen, and we were just about half a tenth down in the second sector, so we've got to make the difference where we can in sector 3 here, and that is a little bit more like attacking in the final corner there. We're sprinting for the line now. This feels like a good lap. What's it gonna be?
Okay, good job, mate. Really well
and it's
done.
pole position, so we mustered up some magic in sector 3, and we will be starting the Australian Grand Prix from pole position.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Joker, Albon, and Kevin Magnussen. Goodbye for now then, but we are really just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. You can hear the Australian fans roaring as they line the track here at Albert Park. Welcome to Melbourne, and the roar from the crowd could only mean one thing. It's race day. Here we are then at the Albert Park circuit, 3.28 miles of bumpy city streets, but not a lot in the way of elevation changes. The circuit goes all the way around the lake, taking in 14 corners. Note the DRS zones into turns 1, 3 and 11. They'll offer our drivers a number of good opportunities to overtake. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Joker lines up on pole position, just edging out Alex Albon, who will start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Magnussen, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, and Norris. Verstappen, Hamilton, Sainz, and Daniel Ticktum. Gasly, Perez, Yuki Tsunoda, and Ocon. Joe, Drugovich, Sebastian Vettel, and Lance Stroll. Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Daruvala, and Robert Schwartzman. That's it then. It's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Here we go then. The formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right and which teams have got it horribly wrong?
Right then, it's the third race of this season. We're starting on pole, the best place we can start from. What can we do from here? The final cars are just getting ready to line up in position as they all split off to the left, to the right, and one of the Alfa Romeos there splitting off very late. So, not sure what he was doing. 29 laps ahead of us in this Australian Grand Prix. Magnussen starts second. No, Albon is alongside us. Magnussen starts third. Who is going to lead into the first corner? It's lights out and away we go. Not the best getaway from myself nor Albon. But Albon's going to go for the lead into turn one. But also going for the lead is Kevin Magnussen. He's round the outside and he barges his way past Alex Albon. We have dropped down into P3, but Kevin Magnussen leads the way ahead of Alex Albon, who retains his grid position of second. That Alpine looking very strong round here. But there we are in P3, and I think that's Oscar Piastri, who's made his way into P4 again. Another strong start from him. But where did it go wrong for us on the POV? It's lights out and away we go. Not a great start for us at all. Albon getting straight for into the lead, but Magnussen just sweeping around the outside and forcing his way past Alex Albon. And we have to settle for third, but Oscar Piastri has made his way up ahead of Charles Leclerc for P4, and I'm getting ready to attack Alex Albon, and I'm wondering where the best place to overtake the Alpine driver is. It's certainly not going to be round here or there. We might have to wait until we get to the far chicane and get a decent run round here. So let's whack on some overtake and try and get past the Alpine early, because we don't want to end up being held up and allowing Magnussen too much of a gap. Here we go then. We're going to go straight for the inside of the Alpine. And Albon, well, doesn't really put up much of a fight. We do go a little bit deep for the second part, but we recover it. Albon trying to get alongside there, and he wrong-footed himself. And I think that's going to allow Charles Leclerc to attack him. And I think, I can't see who's done it. Piastri, we know, has got through. And I think Leclerc has also found his way through. So Oscar Piastri, currently running P3 in his home race. He'll be hoping for a home podium here. And this is how Albon got wrong-footed, trying to get alongside. But, well, that was... I'm not sure why he went for that. But Piastri has gone through, and Charles Leclerc is going to go down the inside. He did have a look at Piastri there, but he couldn't make that work. Piastri keeping him covered there, and Leclerc having to settle for P4 for now. Albon in 5th, though, still running quite strongly as we try and catch up to the McLaren in front of us of Kevin Magnussen, who's got just under a second worth of a lead, so he's not getting away from us. If anything, we are staying right with him. And I feel like we're going to be in prime position to attack. We will have DRS at the final, after the left-right here, going for the tight right-hander. But I don't think we're close enough just yet to make anything of the DRS. However, next lap, we're close enough to get a decent tow. And a good run round the outside here. There's only enough width, a car's width worth of room, but we use it and we get past Kevin Magnussen and we take the lead. And I'm not going to lie, I had to draw breath there because that was so close to disaster there. Look at that, we go to the outside and there really wasn't that much room at all, and that just shows how close to the wall we were. Sweeping around the outside we go and leading the race. Now are we. And here's Oscar Piastri defending from Charles Leclerc. And Oscar Piastri goes very deep there and loses a place to Charles Leclerc. Is Alex Albon going to be able to have a look? Nope. Leclerc covering that off. And in fact, Lando Norris coming off worse in that deal because Norris got an even bigger chop. Right, Magnussen still close to us, still thinking of having a look, but no way through there for the McLaren driver. He's just going to have to bide his time. We've gone a little bit deep. Magnussen's got a little bit caught out by that. So we have got a little bit of a gap. Right, here is Max Verstappen getting past Lando Norris for P6. Lando trying to hold it out on the chicane there, but there's a Mercedes also having a look. It's Lewis Hamilton who's coming round the outside, trying to make Lando's day even worse. And how late does Lando want to break there? Almost keeping the position. Let's have another look at that if we can. Lando braking very late, trying to keep the position. but Verstappen just gets the better exit and keeps his foot in it, and Verstappen getting through. Now here comes Lewis Hamilton on what seems to be a limping Lando Norris. Did he take damage? Has he had a scrape with someone, I wonder? Lando really not feeling the pace right now, and here comes Carlos Sainz on the driver he's replaced, on the driver that's replaced him, sorry. Carlos Sainz getting ahead of Lando Norris up into P8, and obviously with the old friendship those two had, that one feels a little bit personal. Lando Norris replacing Carlos in the Ferrari, of course, and Sebastian Vettel. Wow, another race, another season, more Aston Martin disappointment there. Sebastian Vettel out once again. We've only got about half a second to Kevin Magnussen, so we're really not pulling away from the McLaren that's right behind us. And if anything, Magnussen's having a go, but we're going to cover the inside line. We've gone a bit deep there, though, and Magnussen might have a little go here. He might have a go down the inside, but we've got it covered, albeit running very wide there. And Magnussen staying with us. He might have a run into the first corner. He's definitely staying close enough, but if we can get overtake on early enough, it should be just enough, and is just enough to cover the McLaren, who, well, he doesn't really pick a side to attack, does he? He just sort of accepts it for now. So Magnussen staying put. Right, time for our pit stop, and it's a faultless pit stop, and we are back out. Hopefully not into traffic, because that could cause problems. We've got Dan Ticktum coming up behind us, and we've managed to get out ahead of him. So we're in pit stop clear of one of the McLarens. Now here's Dan Ticktum coming out of the pits, and who is he smacked into there? I believe that's an AlphaTauri. I think that's Pierre Gasly, who he's just hit. Let's have another look then. Here's Dan Ticktum coming out of the pits. The AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly. It is Gasly, car number 10, getting ready to attack the Haas. And out comes the McLaren from the pits, misjudges that and goes straight into Gasly. And the excess debris results in the safety car that we are witnessing now. Lap 17 out of 29, just over half distance, and we do have the safety car out. Well, that gives me a little bit of time for a breather, because Magnussen has been attacking me all race. And I love that shot of all the cars whizzing past as the safety car carries us all round another lap. But I feel like this is going to be the lap the safety car pits in. And it is the lap. We go racing again. I've left Magnussen for chips as we head into the first corner, albeit a little bit deeper than I would have liked. But racing has resumed. The top five, myself, Magnussen, Leclerc, Piastri, Albon. Rounding out the top five, I go to cover Magnussen as we watch what I think is Latifi going after the Alfa Romeos. He gets past one but smashes into another. I believe it's Schwartzman he's made contact with as Daruvala is defending from Ticktum, and we now have, well, this is the battle for the lead. I've gone a little bit deep. Magnussen getting caught out there. He wasn't too quick round the corner. Charles Leclerc trying to get second. Piastri trying to gain two, but he's lost momentum. He might be under attack from Alex Albon. A couple of laps later, again I've gone deep. I've gone onto the grass this time. And as I recover, Leclerc getting sideways as well. I now have to cover the inside. Leclerc, well, he was right behind me, and then he backs off and goes wide, which gives second place back to Kevin Magnussen. And here's Oscar Piastri fighting for a home podium. Is he going to take it? Piastri side by side with Leclerc. And that's Alex Albon and Max Verstappen battling just behind. Who's going to get P3? Piastri goes sideways, and Leclerc keeps the position. Wow, all that started because I got a little bit sideways. We've got the two Mercedes fighting each other for position now as we ride on board with Sergio Perez. And I think that's Hamilton trying to find a way past Sainz. It is Hamilton trying to find a way past Sainz, but Carlos not letting Lewis go there. And I think Lewis might have some words on the team radio there. And as we go into the last lap, it's a retirement for Jehan Daruvala. It's been a disappointing season for him so far. Really not showing strongly at all. Alfa Romeo right at the back of the pack. And now it ends in retirement. But for us, we were able to start building a gap on Kevin Magnussen. After making one or two mistakes and going a little bit deep, we have held on to the race lead, and well, we've been relatively unchallenged since that last mistake. It's gonna be 3 out of 3 for us. What a start to the season, and like I said in the last race, you wait for a win to come along, and now it's not just 2 that come along, it is 3. We are 3 for 3 here in Albert Park as we come round the last corner and win the Australian Grand Prix. What a start to the season. Yes, Joe, it's peanut butter jelly time.
3 wins in a row, mate. Unbelievable work.
So after a day of mixed fortunes up and down the field, we bring today's race to a close. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
Wow, at the moment it is seeming that very little can stop us at the moment. That's a 3rd win in a row and a fastest lap. I will admit it looked a little shaky at one point, especially after the safety car when we made a couple of mistakes and went a little bit wide, but we were able to hold on. Kevin Magnussen though gave it everything to the end and grabbed an amazing 2nd place, matching of course his best finish IRL in Melbourne from 2014 in his debut race when he finished 2nd. It's 3rd place for Charles Leclerc. Oscar Piastri, P4 in his home race. Not too bad from him. It would have been nice to see him on the podium, but Oscar doing relatively well. And yeah, I'm just happy to take 3 in a row. We've got Albon rounding out the top 5 in the Alpine. He was looking pretty strong today. Then it's Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, Perez and Ocon rounding out the 10. Ocon grabbing a point in the 3rd race of the season for Haas, so already 1 up on where he was this time last season. And I will say it's nice to be leading the standings, but I'm hoping as the championship goes on we do get a bit more of a challenge, because I don't want to dominate the season and then make it boring for you guys at the moment. But at the moment, as it stands, it is 3 out of 3 and a wonderful start to the season, not just for me but the team as well, with Oscar Piastri scoring consistently as well. I would like to see a bit more of a push though and see Oscar get onto the podium more often, but for now, here's our lead in the championship. 29 points over Charles Leclerc now, 35 over Kevin Magnussen, who moves up to 3rd. Piastri moving up to 4th, and Lando Norris in 5th place. It's been such a disappointing start to the season for Lando. After a very strong start in Bahrain, it just hasn't come together for him since then. Perez is now 6th in the standings, and the lead Red Bull in the championship at the moment. Then it's Albon, Sainz, Ticktum, who is still only on those 10 points that he got in Saudi Arabia, and Lewis Hamilton 10th in the standings. That's not where you'd think you'd see him at this stage in the championship. But even more surprising is Max Verstappen in 11th. You're seeing that right. Verstappen outside the top 10 of the standings and Lewis Hamilton just inside. This alternate universe is crazy, but there we are, leading the constructors, Ferrari a second, McLaren a third, Red Bull a fourth, then it's Mercedes, Alpine, Haas, AlphaTauri, and the non-scorers at the moment are Williams, Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin. How is the rest of this season going to take shape then? Join me next time we do career mode. Don't forget to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you are new here, and until the next time, TTFN guys, ta-ta for now.